Good morning and welcome once again to Some Good Seeds. Pastor Wayne Hathaway here, and my Bible reading schedule today, I begin reading in the book of Leviticus. I often jokingly refer to Leviticus as the graveyard of Bible reading programs. We're all excited about starting the new year, and we're going to read our Bible through, and we have a good Bible reading program, and so we start into that and we get through Genesis because that's all historical narrative and it's easy to read. Exodus, it's historical narrative, and then toward the latter part of the book it starts getting into all of the furnishings of the tabernacle, and that begins to be a little bit tedious. And then we hit Leviticus, and boy, you miss a day and it's tedious, and then it's even more tedious to try to catch up and all that kind of thing, and so it makes it a little bit difficult. Why in the world Leviticus? Well, it is a wonderful, wonderful book, but it does take some study, some looking into, because there's just tons of types and symbolisms there for us to discover truth that is so wonderful for us if we will take the time to search it out. So I want to just share a verse that just really spoke to me from chapter 2, verse 11. So our reading is Leviticus 1 through 3 and Acts chapter 13. But it's this 11th verse of chapter 2 that really spoke to me. Here's what it says. No grain offering which you bring to the Lord shall be made with leaven, for you shall burn no leaven nor any honey in the offering to the Lord made by fire. Well, of course, in the Bible, leaven is always a symbol of sin, and the way that it works, you put a little bit of yeast, is what it's talking about, yeast into the dough, and it causes the dough to rise. And so the symbolism or the type there is how sin, in just a little bit in us, if we allow it in our lives, will begin to grow and cause sin to permeate the whole of our lives. And then the honey, again, that which is artificially sweetened, was not to be used. The reason, again, being that it's an artificial thing, it's not the real thing. And so they were not to put any honey, primarily because it was a favorite thing that the heathens used in their sacrifices to their non-deities. And so God's saying, I think one of the things that it speaks to me about is from 1 John, when he says, love not the world nor the things that are in the world. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eye, and the pride of life is of the world. It's not from the Father. And if any man loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. And so when we bring our sacrifice to the Lord, our sacrifice of praise, we are to do it without any of that in our lives. No yeast and no honey. And that can represent any number of things that we would have in our lives. The way we worship, the way we go about living our Christian life, that which we allow into our lives that we say is okay, when really it's very worldly in what it happens. Because why? Well, we are to be a separated people, the way that we live our lives. And it isn't just external, and that's where the rub, I think, really comes in. It's not about the externalization of our Christianity. We don't smoke, we don't chew, we don't hang out with those that do. It's not about that. It's about internal, and that's where the yeast factor, the honey factor comes to play, because it's about what's going on inside of our hearts and lives, and that's where we maintain that purity, that separation from all that is in the world, no matter what it may be, and allow the Spirit of God to work, so that which we offer to the Lord is pleasing to Him, because it comes from the purity of our heart. Amen. Well, I hope that helps a little bit. Hope it encourages you in the book of Leviticus as you perhaps are reading through there now. And just pray that the Lord will really bless you as you dive in and see what He has to say through this wonderful book. Amen. Lord bless you today. Have an awesome day.